Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma rabbi zidni ilma. Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Ameen. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. This lecture is of important concepts of integration with partial fractions with examples. An important advice for me and for everyone. We must be fair to others. While using integration with partial fractions, try to use basic formula 1, basic formula 2 and this tan inverse formula for these types of fractions. This is example number 1. You all know how to split this fraction into partial fraction and how to find the values of the unknown constants. In this lecture, I am not discussing partial fractions because you already have done partial fractions in detail. I'm just discussing and focusing on integration. So after substituting the values of these constants into this equation, we have this equation. And after taking sign of integrals and dx on both sides, we have this. Now you have to observe all the functions carefully. We can integrate this function with the help of basic formula 2. We can also integrate this function with the help of basic formula 2. And to integrate this function, we need to bring this in numerator. Because when power is not 1, then we always bring the function in numerator and then we use basic formula 1. So the integral of this is ln x plus 2 according to basic formula 2. And the integral of this is ln x minus 1. And we can simply integrate this by adding 1 in power and dividing function by the resultant power. Hence, this is the simplified form. You can express these two logs as a single log by using quotient law here. This is the most simplified form. So this is the way to integrate simple partial fraction questions. Now this example is very important. This question is from November 20, paper 32. Number 1, you have to split this into partial fraction like this. For linear factor, write constant here. For quadratic factor, write linear factor here. After getting the values of these constants and substituting these values into this equation, we have this partial fraction. This is the partial fraction of this fraction. Now, the second part is very important of this question, which is integration. Hence, find the exact value of this. So, by taking sign of integral here and here with these two limits, 0 and 2, we have this equation. Now, we can simply integrate this with the help of basic formula 2. But this fraction is very important. This is proper fraction with one factor which has no real roots in denominator. So to split this fraction, you have to break the LCM. So by breaking the LCM, we have these two fractions. Now you have to observe these two fractions carefully. The differential of this function is 2x. X is there, 2 is missing, so we can use basic formula 2 to integrate this function. But here, this structure is of tan inverse formula because its differential is 2x and variable is missing. So to integrate this function, write this 3 here and write this function as 1 upon x square plus 2 square. And according to tan inverse formula, write the reciprocal of this here, then write tan inverse and then write fraction of these two as an angle of tan inverse. So this is the way to integrate this function. And you can use basic formula 2 here and here. The differential of this is 3, so just use ln 3x plus 2 here. We already have done this here. And according to basic formula 2, this will be ln x square plus 4 upon 2 because 2 is missing in this differential. All these two steps are very important. Number one is split this fraction by breaking the LCM, and number two, integrate this with the help of tan inverse formula, and then just apply the limits and do the calculations carefully to get the exact value of this integral. You can take the screenshot of this solution if you want, because this question is very important. I hope this lecture will help you to understand integration with partial fractions. Good luck to everyone. Allah Hafiz.